Hi everyone, welcome back to Ezer-Tech. Today we're going to compare the GoPro Hero6 versus the DJI Pocket 2. It's quite a windy day today. If you're wondering where I am at the moment, I'm at the Mamza beach doing my daily walk routine. So I just thought, since I'm here for my walk, I thought why not just compare between cameras. So today I'm going to compare an older model of GoPro. It's the GoPro Hero6, which is actually 6 or 7 years old model. So even though, let's see how it performs versus the DJI Pocket 2, which came out about 3 years ago. So let's first start off with 4K 24 frames per second. Let's see how the GoPro Hero 6 performs versus DJI Pocket 2 during low light situations. We're now filming on 4K 30 frames per second. So let's see how the GoPro 6 performs during low light versus the Pocket 2, DJI Pocket 2. So now we are filming in 4K 60 frames per second. So we're now filming in 2.7K, 24 frames per second. Once again, we're now filming in 2.7K, 24 frames per second. So friends, if you find this video useful, we'd appreciate if you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, allowing us to keep making content that you find interesting. So we're now filming in 2.7K, 30 frames per second. Once again, 2.7K, 30 frames per second. So we're now filming in 2.7K once again, in 60 frames per second. So once again, 2.7K, 60 frames per second. We're now filming in 1080p, Full HD, 24 frames per second. Once again, 1080p, 24 frames per second. Guys, we're now filming in 1080p, 30 frames per second. Once again in full HD, 1080p, 30 frames per second. So we're now filming in full HD, 60 frames per second, 1080p in 60 frames per second. It looks quite dark on my camera. So once again guys, we are filming in full HD, 60 frames per second, 1080p, full HD in 60 frames per second. So that was a comparison between the GoPro Hero 6 and the DJI Pocket 2. So the clear winner was of course the Pocket 2. It gives you a much more stabilized and usable image compared to the Hero 6. So while the GoPro 6 gives you a stabilized image during daytime, it gives you a very jittery and somewhat unusable image at night. So can the GoPro be used at night? Yes, it can. For that we have gimbal stabilizers like the Crane M2. This can be used for action cameras, for mobile phones, as well as point and shoot small cameras. So that will be a solution if you want to use your Hero 6 at night. While using a gimbal like this, it will give you a much more stabilized and somewhat usable image if you want to use cameras like GoPro 6 and 8. So that's your solution. Use a gimbal for your GoPro if you're filming at night. And the best settings for the GoPro would be 24 frames per second at full HD. Don't go more than 24 frames per second because less light flows in, and then it gives you quite a dark and unusable footage. So film at full HD, 24 frames per second for your GoPro. And when it comes to Pocket 2, the best settings would be 24 frames per second at full HD if it's dark and almost less light. If there's light on the roads, if there's street lights, then I would suggest to go for 24 frames per second at 4K. That will give you the best quality image. Don't go above 24 frames again because less light flows in and the image gets dark and it's almost unusable. So film at 24 frames per second at 4K. And one thing more, you notice there was noise while filming from both cameras. For that we have softwares like DaVinci Resolve, which I use personally. These softwares can help us remove noise from our footage. So check out these clips guys, before and after noise reduction. So this is 4K 24 frames per second before noise reduction. And now 4K 24 frames per second after noise being removed. So here's 2.7K 24 frames per second before noise reduction. And now we have 2.7K 24 frames per second after noise being removed. And finally Full HD 24 frames per second before noise reduction. And now we have Full HD 24 frames per second after noise being removed. So this concludes our camera comparison video. If you found this video useful, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon as we plan to compare more cameras in our future videos. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you on our next video.